Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I'm here with Aaron Chewbacca Singerman and Chris, the technician, Aceto, and we're about to do the wrap-up of the entire night's festivities here in Tampa, Florida. Tim Gardner's Tampa Pro Show. Chris, your guy Shawn Rhoden wins the night here. Beats a very tough Tony Freeman in a very controversial decision. Tony Freeman was not happy about it. Was it the right decision?
Yeah, it was the right decision. I thought Tony looked great, and I just thought,
Talk to me about Rhoden.
Rhoden, this was his obviously all-time fullest, all-time hardest, all-time driest,
all-time biggest.
All-time biggest. And I thought he had not a commanding lead, but I thought that he did more than what he had to do in prejudging and the night show.
We can't talk to Rhoden himself, but you can. You've been talking to him. What has been going through Rhoden's mind? Is this something that's like a dream come true for him?
I'm sure he can't, he's going to figure it out tonight, but...
What did he say to you when he got off stage? I saw you guys talking.
Thank you.
Thank you to you.
Congratulations.
Well, you're a sodium depleter. You did a good job.
So it's a big... This prep was a big... it was an important prep for him because he was on the fence deciding, okay, am I just going to be a fourth place type guy, or am I going to take it to another level?
Or is he going to go down to men's physique?
Not quite.
Aaron almost tried to convince him of that. What did you think of Shawn Rhoden?
I was very, very, very impressed. I think Shawn Rhoden, Tony came in here and he was obviously disappointed. He felt like it was very close. And tonight it was very close. This was the best Tony Freeman I've ever seen. I know you thought maybe in 2008 he was better. I actually think that I wasn't there then, but from what I saw tonight, this is the best I've seen him.
I thought Tony was better in Dallas last year, personally, but I think it was close to his best. And I thought that arguably you can make a case for Tony Freeman because he is bigger, he does have more experience. But I think Rhoden is the new kid on the block, and this is a guy who's going to do some damage. You put 10 pounds on this kid, and he's going to be a top 3 Olympian. You put 15, 17 pounds on him, he wins the Olympia. I think he's good enough to beat Phil Heath. What do you think about that?
I think...
with 17 pounds on him.
Well, he has lived up to the idea that he's like a flex wheeler type physique. Mm-hmm. And no matter who comes to the stage on a show like this, and this was a killer lineup, this was like a Junior Arnold, but with a flex wheeler type physique and in condition, he is unbelievably hard to beat by a lot of very good bodybuilders.
True, very true. And Tony Freeman will be in Dallas next week. He will be at the Olympia. He will be at Chiru. He will be at the Masters Olympia. So we're going to see a lot more of Tony, and I'm sure he's going to get better from here.
Shawn and him will be battling it out next week in Dallas.
Shawn will be in Dallas again.
Yeah, keep the sodium out for the whole week.
And interestingly, either way, if Tony gets second, he still qualifies for Olympia on the points. I checked it out.
True.
So he'll qualify.
And you will deplete him on sodium for the rest of his life, right?
I'm just going to keep it out from here to the Olympia.
You are the sodium depleter. That's your new nickname. The sodium depleting kid. Let's talk about Hidetama Yamagishi. Snuck into that third place spot. Tonight, he looked... the guy is impeccable. You look at his physique, and he doesn't look like that much because he's not that big. But the level of conditioning that he brings is so, I guess, impressive to look at. Yeah. And I think the judges just picked him out of the crowd because of that. It's a good thing I didn't bet you.
Yeah. He's you're right. I would have won that bet. Dave thought that Rulli was going to beat him. Yeah. Anyway, he's in great condition. He presents himself extremely well.
Yeah. He's comfortable with his body.
He's very comfortable with his body. He presents himself well. He poses very well. And he's very, very polished up there. So if it's even close, a lot of times gets pushed his way.
Why did Rulli Winkler come in fourth place, in your mind? Give me one word.
Flat.
Okay, why is Rulli Winkler having trouble finding the formula that's going to get him as hard as he was tonight, but also just as full as he was when he won the New York Pro?
Because he has no formula. He doesn't. He's just guessing coming into shows, and that's. It sounds mean and cruel, but
true.
This is a guy who we see pictures of him, 6 weeks out, and people say, how can anyone beat him? And Hyde ends up beating him, and that's not too. But
Hyde shouldn't be beating him, is what you're saying.
No. Hyde gets the most out of his physique, and Rowley gets the least out of his physique.
And he was still great tonight.
Yes, he was.
Talk to me about Lee Banks, who made tremendous gains, 10 pounds up from last year, just as good at conditioning. Him with 10 more pounds is a dangerous competitor.
I was very impressed with Lee Banks. He was for me, he was the story of the show. He was the most, other than Shawn Rhoden, of course, who was the winner. He's the real story. But Lee Banks, I wasn't expecting this from. I don't think that anybody had him in their top five. He's a good bodybuilder, but nobody expects to see that kind of a jump. So I was very impressed.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the women's bodybuilding. Sarah Hayes wins her first pro show. Saw her in Hartford, Chris. I told her she was fifth place. I said, don't give up. I said, you look real good. Keep going. You're just getting better. I've never seen her conditioning as good as it's been the last couple of shows. The judges went with her here tonight. I don't know if that was the right decision, but you can't argue with the fact that she looked fantastic.
Yeah, she looked fantastic, radically improved over Hartford. She could still get tighter and more, more hardness to her physique.
I think that her conditioning was good. I think I would like to just see her get a little bigger, maybe. And she's still a newbie. She was a figure competitor that switched over to bodybuilding.
Yeah, she has a lot of potential. She really impressed me when she came out in prejudging, and I think she was sharper here tonight than she was this morning, and that may have helped her, in the final placings.
Right decision going with Sarah Hayes?
Yes, I think it was the right decision. I know this is your client, Sheila, but I thought that Sarah was considerably bigger than her. And I think that the combination of size, I think both of them are very feminine, pretty bodybuilders. And I think that when you saw them both up there, I thought Sarah Hayes edged her out just by size.
I think you're out of your mind. I think Sheila Bleck was as big as Sarah Hayes, and I think her conditioning and structure was better. I was shocked, actually, that Sheila did not win, not because I helped her by any means, but because I thought that she was just the more dominant bodybuilder.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Sheila Bleck, but when she first came out, she got the popping cap delts, crazy V-taper, super condition in the legs. She was my personal choice, and I was a little surprised at the decision. But it's
bodybuilding.
It's bodybuilding. Personally, I had Sheila Bleck, and I hate to say that because it seems like it disses the champion. But they're both great. But they're both, like Aaron said, they're both very pretty.
They were both at their best too.
They were both at their best, absolutely.
Let's talk about Janine Lankowski, third place, another client of mine who was thrilled. I mean, she never thought that she would be top three. I think that she, in her mind, wanted to be top three, but this was really a realization of a dream long gone. She just broke her foot when she moved to Tampa. Seems like all the women bodybuilders live in Tampa now. Were you impressed?
I was. I actually videoed her workout, one of her workouts, and spent about a little more over an hour with her in the gym. And I think that her goal was very realistic. I think she wanted to make like top 10 or something. So I think she's got to be ecstatic, and her future is bright.
Very bright. Let's talk about fourth place finisher Kim Perez. Tell me what you said when you saw her upper body.
Tony Atlas upper body.
Tony Atlas upper body. That's quite a compliment.
Her legs aren't quote that bad, so it shows you how deep the woman's lineup was, and she was in great condition too.
Her upper body is so good that it makes her legs look weak.
It's amazing. It's amazing to look at.
That's been a problem with her whole career, though. Unfortunately,
of course. I think for her it must be frustrating, but to really move up another couple notches or into first, she's got to bring up her quads.
She's got to bring the quads up. Fifth place, Melody Specto, another Tampa person transplanted from Canada, of course. At one point, I thought the judges were considering her for first. They had her in the middle. That was some interesting call-outs they had there, but were you impressed with Melody? She really transforms herself on stage.
I was. She was in the second call-out originally, and they brought her back into the first call-out at the end, and then they put her in the middle. So I know that she was a little confused about it. She was happy to be the first call-out, because obviously that worst is fifth. But I think Melody just looked great. I mean, she's made big improvements in Chicago Pro, which we covered, me and Chris covered. She looked good there. She looked great here. And I know her goal was to be top 5. So she met her goal and is also got to be very excited.
Sure. Let's talk about women's physique. Nola Trimble wins her second pro event in as many tries. She's got to be thrilled. She actually, Chris, was a better pro than she was amateur. She had a lot of trouble getting her pro card. Once she got it, it seems like she got the formula down.
That's the story of sometimes for some people who become pro. They put so much pressure on themselves, or they don't have the formula when they're an amateur, but they gain the confidence when they conquer the amateurs, and that may have been it.
And J.M. Mannion pointed out to me, not about Nola, but a lot of girls that finish second and get their pro card sometimes go on to be better pros than the girls that win the overall, and that's the case with Nola. She was the second place winner at the North American when she got her pro card.
It took her a while to get that pro card too. It wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't easy, and people weren't saying that she was going to be that great a pro, and then she turns out to be a better pro than she was amateur. So she's got to be thrilled.
Unbelievable. She is a great package. I hate to use the word package. She puts everything together, has all the elements to be a really good women's physique girl.
Plus, the fact that she's beautiful doesn't hurt either, and that always goes a long way. Talk about, I know you love Makayla Soto. I mean, the girl's got incredible energy. Matter of fact, she told me she winged that whole routine. She didn't even practice it.
Her physique is excellent. She just happened to go up against Nola here and in Chicago. She's capable of winning these shows. She just got to get maybe a little bit tighter to be able to get the edge. She's
like Kai Green almost. Her posing is almost disruptive on stage.
You have to see it to appreciate it.
Well, she's not. I don't think she's holding the mandatories. Would you agree? Properly, maybe not showing her physique to the best of its ability.
She is dancing up there, basically.
She's a free spirit.
And I talked to her. Me and Chris were walking up the stairs to the pump up room, and she was walking up, and I was like, "You love it up there, don't you?" She's like, "Yeah, I just
Stay
love
up
it."
there all day.
Yeah, she could literally just keep going and going. You could play song after song for her.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing is that I could probably watch it because she's that good.
She should entertain at a nightclub. Let's talk about the bikini winner, Nicole Negrani, who is the reigning Miss Bikini Olympia. She comes in here. It seems like Florida, Aaron, is her domain. No one beats her in Florida, and she likes to do these Florida shows. And I guess she reestablishes herself as the person to beat for the Olympia after losing to Sonia Gonzalez at the International.
Yeah, well, I didn't agree with that to begin with. So, and I don't think a lot of people did.
She placed third there. She didn't even play second.
Yeah, so I think she does reestablish herself, and I think it's really going to be between her and India Polino at the Olympia.
I think it was good for her to lose at the International because it lit a fire under her. It made her desire more. It was almost too easy before that, and I think that this is going to be good for her. And moving forward, I predict she will regain the Olympia crown, or keep her Olympia crown, I should say.
I think it'll be interesting. I don't know. I feel like India, maybe until now, had the momentum. So now maybe you're right. It's going to be a toss-up, I think.
Women's figure, Ann Titoni wins her first pro figure event. Ann is one of these people that people would never have picked for a pro winner, 5 years ago. She's a hard worker. She proves that persistence pays off, and she wins her first pro event. Were you impressed?
Absolutely perfect package for this class. I mean, she was the winner for me from the get-go. She's got like enough muscle, enough V-taper, enough leanness and hardness without looking too lean, too hard. She's perfect.
But I've just seen her transform over the last couple of years, and it's amazing because she didn't have a small waist. She brought her waist down. She wanted more shoulders. She brought her shoulders up. She needed a back. She brought her back up. Her presentation wasn't that good. She improved the presentation. Her makeup and hair weren't that good. She improved that. And Aaron, that's just a testament to, you have to work hard if you want to be a champion.
Jack, after every show, her husband, Jack Titoni, will come up and say, "So what did you think? Did she do this improve, this improve?" And I tell him, a little bit improves every time, and that just shows you a little bit improves over 20 shows, and by the end, you're a winner.
Congratulations to all our champions here tonight, and thanks to Tim Gardner for inviting us to another great Tampa Pro. For now, though, I'm Dave Palumbo with Chris the Technician Aceto and Aaron Chewbacca Singerman, rxmuscle.com.